Hey guys, welcome back. Um, okay, I wanted to mention something today that I mentioned yesterday, which was so I rented Link's Awakening for the Switch, and if you'll remember, I was playing Link's Awakening on this channel, and I didn't finish it. So I had a fun idea where it's like, I'll play the other Link's Awakening, and I'll get up to where I left off here, and then I'll continue on the Switch. So I'll be like, the first half will be the DX version, and the second half will be the Switch version. I thought that was kind of fun. So maybe I'll try to do that next week. It depends how far I get in the game, but yeah, I only played it for like a day, a couple hours. But it's so great. I love the new one. It's so nice. They really did a good job with the music. That's like a really important part of the game. Also, obviously, like the art is important too, but I really liked all the music in that game. I think they also gave the Ballad of the Windfish like lyrics. I remember seeing that, but I don't know if I've heard it yet. So maybe the first time I hear it will be in the game, which would be cool. I don't know if they'll do that. Maybe when you meet Marin, like on the beach, she'll sing it to you. Boop 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 beep 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 beep. Beep 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 beep. Blah 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 blah. I guess I wanted to talk about the book again. Well, I wanted to mention, like, I am feeling a little bit better this week, I guess. Last week I was kind of down on myself, like, oh, I was streaming a lot, so I'm not doing very good today. But today I'm feeling a little bit better, like, actually, I went back and watched, one of my Link's Awakening episodes. I think it was just because I was sick, but I was like, oh, I'm really not talking at all. I was kind of proud of myself now, like, well, compare this to your Ocarina of Time episode, and it's like, that's so much more talking. I mean, maybe the talking doesn't make it better, but I kind of think, like, well, my goal is to talk more, right? So, okay, that was supposed to happen. So I mentioned this last week, but I know this is everybody's favorite type of episode. I'm still managing to read the Joseph Campbell book, Hero with a Thousand Faces. I want to talk about it here just because I want to verbalize what I've been thinking. That's the best way to learn something. If I just read it and I don't talk about it, I'm not going to remember any of it. So I want to just talk about the stuff that sticks out to me about storytelling. It is kind of a dense book, like most of the ideas aren't getting through, and most of the stuff I'm thinking of are just kind of bringing new ideas to stuff I've already kind of thought about before. Any new stuff is kind of hard to get through to me because it's just like so wordy and I don't know, it's hard. Give me that, give me that, give me that. Boop 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 boop. I know those aren't that's not the song. I forget what the song is in this. When you get invincible. Boop 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 boop. So it's called Hero with a Thousand Faces, and I got two Road of Trials and the meeting with the goddess. I didn't have a lot of notes about the Road of Trials. I guess it's the point in a story where it's the Road of Trials is just like when the hero has to fight stuff so he leaves his known world, goes to the unknown world, and then in the unknown world there's like, I don't know, demons and spirits and stuff he has to fight. His demons could be his own inner demons. Obviously, it could be anything. He said, Road of Trials is a journey into the psyche to battle the personal or worldly burdens. So I guess, if I'm understanding this right, the point of a story is to tell the story of a hero who travels to the unknown or the subconscious world and learns a new power and brings it back to the known world and shows it to us. So the Road of Trials, he battles the personal and worldly burdens. I guess these are the things that are keeping the world from knowing the power. He calls it the ultimate boon, I think. And the stories that I like are like personal stories, so it's like he's battling his own thoughts, like what's keeping him from being the person that he wants to be, and the Road of Trials is like him fighting those things and confronting them. I have to kill this guy. These are my Road of Trials, is to kill this little bug. What am I learning about humanity? That I don't like bugs. I want to squish them. Oh. The ultimate boon in Mario is to just jump high. Okay. And get them stars. In mythology, it's more like worldly burdens. I don't know if I can think of any examples. He probably gave a bunch of examples. I was thinking, like, I wish there was a book like this, but instead of like mythology examples, it would be like movie examples, because that would be more accessible to me. Like, he's talking about all these stories, like Islam mythology, or like Greek mythology, or even like Christian mythology, and it's just dense. It's hard to understand. So that's the road of Trials. It's pretty interesting. So if you're making a story and you want to make it interesting, you have to. The next part of the story is the most important part, and I didn't really write too many great notes about it. It's called Meeting with the Goddess. So that's like the middle point of your story. As far as I understand it, I mean, you could change it up, obviously. Good stories. So this is like the structure of a basic story, but obviously the best stories are the stories that break the structure. But you got to know the structure first to make a good story, and then you break the rules. Meeting with the Goddess is the center of the cosmos, leaving the trials. The bliss that was once known will be known again. She is the life of everything that lives and the death of everything that dies. She can promise him more than he is currently able, shows him his perfect self. You have to be kind to the goddess, not cruel, for her to reveal her power. Final test of the hero to get the boon of power. Example is love. Those are my notes. Because I don't know if I can really think of anything else to talk. Okay, what do I have to do here? King Caliente. Okay. Okay, so once you leave the Road of Trials, you've like proven your worth to earn the power. You've been tested and you've passed. The final test is the meeting, the meeting with the goddess. Hopefully I know where to go. I guess sometimes it's not really a test. Sometimes it's just like the test is the trials, and then once you pass the trials, you meet with the goddess and you get it. There's no test. What I got from him was like, well, most of the time it is like a test. This is the final part of the test. He was like, you have to be kind to her, to the goddess, when you meet her. Otherwise, you won't get the power. The goddess holds the power of the unknown world that, like, you're learning. The whole point of the story is to learn the new power. She has the power. She reveals the power. Okay, where do I go? Is it like up that tree? There it is. How do I get up there? I think I climbed that tree. Am I climbing it? No. How do I get up there? Whatever. I'm just gonna leave. Do the other one. I guess I like that idea of like the bliss that was once known will be known again. So he brought an example of something you can learn from the goddess is love. That's like the most obvious thing. But obviously, love isn't a new thing. It's just something that in the hero's world we've forgotten. Maybe in the hero's world it's just him. He's his own world. In the story, he's the world. So he's just forgotten it, not the world. But when he goes to the unknown world, he relearns something that was forgotten. That's the point of stories, is to take what was, there's nothing new. It's just to take something that was old and relearn it. That's what being alive is to learn what's happened in the past and to bring your newness to it. Your own perspective or your own reality to a new life, because you're not the same person as the people who lived before, but you still have to live in the same way, or you still have to live the same way. Does that make sense? Did I go over today? Kind of. I guess that's it. I guess it would be nice to know, like, what are some movie examples of meeting with the goddess? I can't think of anything. Well, let's try to think of Star Wars. What would be like the middle point of the original Star Wars where he meets with the goddess? The Road of Trials. I'm thinking it's before Obi-Wan dies. What's the power that Luke learns in... It's not the Force, that's like the literal power, but like, what's the power that he learns? Well, the whole point of that movie is like, he starts out, he's like this lonely kid on a desert planet, and then at the end, he's like the hero of the rebellion. So the power he learns is adventure? The value of leaving your home. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this stuff, but I'd like to try to think of it before I leave. because I know that movie pretty well. So, is it when? I don't know. Well, I'd have to think about it more. It's when he is on the Death Star. Oh, well, maybe it's just when he meets Princess Leia. She is the goddess who shows him. That might be a. I know Joseph Campbell. I know. This is a good example because George Lucas really followed Joseph Campbell's story structure. So maybe in his movie he put a literal goddess in, because most of the time I don't think it's an actual person. But maybe it is when he meets Leia and saves her. That's the point where he learns adventure. So I guess the road of trials is like getting to her, and then once he has her, then he has the power and he accepts her. And the road of trials is like when Luke is on his home planet and like his parents die, or his uncle dies, and then he's got to go through the bar and meet all the aliens, and like the aliens are like picking on him, and then he's got to meet Han Solo and convince him to fly him out of there, and then the Death Star pulls him in, and he's got to like figure out where's his princess or whatever he has to do. I forget. Alderaan blows up, and he's like on the Death Star. Okay, whatever. That's it for today. Not sure what I'll talk about tomorrow, but that was too long. See ya. Hopefully that was right. Princess Leia is the goddess. Duh.